The forest smells strongly of earth, and I almost feel cold, even though the midsummer day is as hot as ever. Rin trudges ahead like a sleepwalker, sure-footed but with no apparent destination in mind. Her thoughts seem to be elsewhere, or somewhere else. I follow a few steps behind, taking more care to watch where my feet land. The path follows the land uphill at a low angle, sometimes making a sometimes making little detours downhill before climbing back upward. The muted brown and gray trunks lining the paths up on both sides, peppered with ferns and other undergrowth. After a little while, I start getting worried. The path is still wide and clear, so there's no chance of getting lost, but it doesn't look like we have any particular destination. There's nothing wrong with a bit of aimless wandering around, but I don't want to go so far that I get too tired to walk back. I'm starting to get a little winded, and my legs feel heavy. I want to stop and get a chance to catch my breath and rest my legs, but Rin keeps going on. Where are we going? Or are we going anywhere at all? Worry tree. I see. So what exactly is the worry tree? It's just a tree, like this. She stops in front of a particularly large maple that might or may not be the worry tree. Its lush green leaves sway lightly in the breeze blowing through the small clearing we entered. I guessed as much. There are people who believe that you must come here to wallow in misery. If you are miserable only by people, I mean me, and the tree isn't really called anything. So if you're miserable, you talk to a tree about it. No? What? You can't talk to trees. What do you think I am, crazy? No, I didn't mean it like that. Or maybe you talk to trees. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that you're crazy, even though you probably are if you talk to trees. I would recommend it in either case. I wouldn't recommend it in either case. People will think you are a weird person. No, I just forget it. She looks mildly confused, for which I don't blame her at all. She tilts her head a little to the side, expression melting back to her usual one. Alright, I'm good at forgetting things. So why are we, what? So why are we here? Um, I don't think that's supposed to be there. Are you miserable then? I can't read the expression she makes. I hate how bad I am at interpreting Rin's mood. She doesn't answer right away, as if she herself isn't quite certain of her own mood. The blank stare changes into a more difficult expression as she shuffles her weight around. Finally coming to a conclusion, Ren shrugs her shoulders. I've grown to seriously dislike the gesture. It doesn't mean anything. Maybe. I just feel kind of like it's sinking underwater. Like I'm sinking underwater. I don't know what I should do. I don't know where I should go, that's all. Maybe it's not a big deal, but I thought walking might help. Kind of like if I go somewhere I would know where I should go. I don't really know if I did. It really would have made sense if walking had helped to decide where to go. So you don't want to try and get an exhibition? Or rather, you don't know if you do? Can't decide? Rin doesn't say anything for a while, arranging her thoughts in silence. The quiet is broken by a bird song from somewhere in the treetops, followed by rustling leaves as the bird takes flight. Maybe. I'm not sure if I can have that, or have a thing like that. So far, I've only painted for myself. I don't think I could have had. I don't think I could have my things on display the way I am now. This me couldn't do it. Her reason sounds like a weak excuse. I make my trademark frown, but she doesn't notice it. I don't get it. The teacher certainly thinks you good. I don't think he'd suggest it otherwise. Sounds like he's calling in favors from his friends, too. I know, he's really done a lot for me, but this might be too much. Becoming someone who can do it might be pretty hard. Maybe I could maybe I couldn't do it at all. He can't do it for me, and if I let him try, I just sink deeper and deeper. Rin stands in front of a large maple turns away from me. I want to close the few feet of distance between us, and I don't know why. My irritation is suddenly gone, and I start feeling sympathetic to her. I know exactly how you feel. Well, maybe I don't, but still. What? I think I haven't felt like that, or I haven't felt like I was actually in control of my own life this whole year. I'm just helplessly going along with the flow. Like coming here to the school, I didn't really choose it myself, and I certainly didn't choose this time of my life to learn that I have this condition. I still can't casually say the word aloud. It's like, yeah, it's exactly like being underwater, like I can't even breathe. Ren turns to face me again, a sad expression on her face. Oh, so I look so sad all the time? I don't want to look sad like you. Do I look to you like you look to me? I don't look sad all the time. I just don't know what I should be feeling, what kind of face I should be making. Me neither. Do I look sad now? Not really. You look like you always do, I think. But I'm sinking. I should try to float up like a rubber duck. Quack quack, all yellow and creepy. I have to think for a few seconds about which direction I should pursue in this conversation. Then I realize that it doesn't matter. You think rubber ducks are creepy? You don't? I think they look very creepy. Everything that has eyes but isn't alive is very disturbing, like rubber ducks and reflections in mirrors. She plops down onto the forest bed, leaning on the maple she named Worry Tree. After wondering what to do for a minute, I sit down too, 3 feet apart from her. The forest envelopes up its embrace, and its stillness falls upon the two of us. We sit there without speaking for a long time. For a long while, I can literally feel the time passing. Patches of sunlight litter the small clearing in a pattern that echoes the maple canopies. One of them falls directly on me, warming me all the way to the bone. I wonder what I could do for myself, and maybe for Rin. For now, I just keep watching her from the distance. Sometimes she cranes her neck all the way back, so much that it almost looks painful, then stares up at the small patch of sky visible past the canopy of the worry tree. Sometimes she just stares blankly ahead, as if seeing something just beyond her reach. She keeps whispering to herself, but so quietly that I can't hear her, even though I'm sitting right next to her. I only see her lips moving like she was in the middle of a distant dream. I realize that right now I no longer feel any of the intense loneliness I feel at night, just before falling asleep. I might be more like Rin than I thought. I can either give up and stay submerged under the weight of all that crap in my life, or try to change myself for the better. Her decision is different, yet the same. And unlike her, I know for sure that I can't stay like this forever. I have to change. well, well, uh, I want to be more like Rin, or I want to be more like Emmy. I don't know. Let's go with this. That one. Create new save state. Yeah. Uh, who do I want to go for here? Ah, ooh. Um, actually, I don't know. I don't know. I say we should go for wanting to be more like Rin. I don't know. Oh, I guess because we're going through the Rin path, but maybe. Hmm. Ah, shit. I want to be more like Rin. Yeah. Eh. Uh. Oh. I don't fucking know, dude. Yeah, I want to be more like Rin. I want to be more like Rin. Ah. Rin could probably do it. Even though she seems to doubt herself, I have no doubts about her strength. She could do it even if she can't. What? That doesn't sound right. It makes me feel a little bit better, too. I lean back against the tree, breathing out deeply as if for the first time in a long time. Um, eh. We stay in the way in the small clearing until the angled sun changes and the chilly shadows deepen. No longer warm where we sit. We leave the forest, returning along the same path we took coming in. It doesn't seem like Rin has come to a decision. I wonder if it is a bad idea for me to come along. It's alright, I don't mind. I'm sure the trees and dirt and rocks won't mind either. Did you mind? No, not at all. I think it helped me too. While we walk back towards the dormitories, the sky is changing to a deep ultramarine. The first summer stars twinkle softly from between spots in the canopy, barely visible like tiny fireflies. I become very self-conscious about Rin's presence. I haven't thought much about girls since things fell apart with Iwanako. Oh, yeah. This is kind of the same situation as then, but to be honest, I don't think it really counts for much. Not with Rin. And yet, it feels good walking next to her, even if it isn't anything more than this. Uh, at first, I think Rin agitated me quite a bit with her unpredictable behavior, but recently, I feel I haven't had to be one on my toes. I haven't had to be on my toes so much. I managed to let myself go a little. It makes me feel satisfied, even though ultimately I'd feel it's more than it's to Rin than myself. She seems to be disinterested in a huge number of things, but sometimes me try harder than I normally would. It's not that I want to impress her. I think that truly impresses Rin would take near superhuman effort just because of how she is. Instead, it's because there's this relentless feeling inside of me that I shouldn't let Rin down. It's really weird. I wonder why I started thinking like that. I don't even know what sort of expectations she has about pretty much anything. So how could I let her down? Rin has the unamusing air around her, and she doesn't really talk about stuff very often. Even today's confession of her self-doubt caught me a little bit off guard. I feel like I want to talk more with her. The realization suddenly dawns on me that Rin basically is the only person I talk to nowadays, apart from whatever I have to endure from Shizune, Misha, or Kenji. I feel slightly depressed. In front of the dormitory, it says this, summoned by my dark thoughts, we run into Kenji himself. It feels very odd seeing him outside, breathing fresh outdoor air. At least it's already dusk. I partially expect Kenji with a disintegrated upon direct exposure to the sun. Kenji himself seems very insecure as well, standing around looking like he's waiting for something, but doesn't know himself what it might be. Hey Kenji, what are you doing? Hello. Who are you? It's me, Hisao. I'm not sure if you know Tezuka from class 3-4. From his face, I can see that not only does he not, but he doesn't know Rin. He almost can't see her from this short distance. Oh, what's up, dudes? Kenji takes his hand enthusiastically forward, almost straight into Rin's stomach. Rin looks like an outstretched hand as he confusion until Kenji clears his throat and retracts the hand. Oh, Kenji, you can't see. You can't see. There are no arms. There's something almost cool that he managed to do with social awkwardness. It's not like I'm the most sway man on the planet, but I don't think you'll ever be able to even approach Kenji's level. I think I respect Kenji a little bit more. So you're waiting for someone? He leans closer and lowers his voice in an agitated whisper. I see his facial muscles twitching. Come on, man. I know we can't talk about stuff here in public. They might be listening. I'm going to have to pick up some stuff from somewhere, and I don't want those snooping student council hags to get on my case. Also, I don't trust your friend. Nothing personal. Are you sure he's trustworthy? I briefly considered telling Genji about Rin's gender, but as it might end up badly for one or both of them, I decide against it. Yeah, I'm sure. He turns from me to Rin. I immediately get the feeling that I have to prevent them from talking to each other, with whatever means necessary. However, there is a little I could do apart from physical violence. In this case, it would be interesting in knowing about the worst threat to mankind since they invented vegetarianism. Yep, it sounds like a vacuum cleaner salesman. I thought it was Sunday. I see, so you're not in the know. Yeah, man, I'm talking about man-eating cows here. Very few people know what I know, so I'm not surprised. We can't talk yet, but if you'd like a pamphlet, come to my room after curfew on Mondays or Wednesdays. What? He suddenly reaches to his pocket and draws a ballpoint pen and what looks like a convenience store receipt. Kenji furiously scribbles on the scrap of paper, then thrusts it towards Rin. Here's the password, memorize and eradicate any trace of the document. Eat it, burn it, dissolve it in acid, whatever. I take the receipt from Kenji as Rin is unable to do so, and glance at it. It's indeed a receipt apparently for 2 rice balls, 5 boxes of matches, and I hope he's not planning to burn anything down. Oops, what, which one did I press? Oh no, there we go. On the other side is written just one word. Honey muffin. What? Alright, honey muffin. I show it to Rin, but she shows no reaction. Thank you. Yo, Sal, you still in that club? The Club of Dark Arts? Fine art. Anyway, yeah, actually, just had a meeting today. Still got your wits about you, no shady mind tricks going on, nothing personal, man, but I still gotta be on top of things. Can't get caught in my pants down. Speaking of which, you should really take a shower a bit later. Gotta respect the personal space, nothing personal. Kenji looks around as if he heard something something and then strains his jacket. Okay, I gotta scoot now before it gets too late. Later, dudes. Good luck. Kenji takes off rapidly towards the main gate. Rin looks after him, frowning. We watch after Kenji diminishes his figure in silence. What's wrong with him? Technically speaking, he's legally blind. Oh, I see. I can immediately tell from the envelope that it's not about official matters of any sort. Someone actually wrote me an old-fashioned handwritten paper letter. Who bothers doing something like this in this day and age anyway? Yet, as unlikely the prospect of receiving one sounds, there's definitely a letter lying on my desk. Class for the day are all over. Still feeling pretty full from the big lunch that I had unexpectedly eating at the cafeteria. I returned to my dorm, planning on finishing my homework and probably skipping dinner, or at least just eating light. I feel like I need to eat less than I used to. Maybe I don't use that much energy now that I don't do much beyond reading. However, the letter on my desk had naturally caught my interest. It's the first piece of mail I've received at Yamaku, so it'd feel very special if it wasn't something as rare as a handwritten letter. What causes me more trepidation is the name of the sender, written neatly on the back of the envelope. Who is it? We haven't seen this before ever, right? Nope. We haven't seen this 3 times before. Iwanako. I have no idea why she would write to me. I haven't been in contact with anyone from my old school since I transferred, and Iwanako is the last person I expect to write me a letter. The last time I saw Iwanako was terribly awkward, embarrassingly so. She came to my hospital room, peeled me an apple out of courtesy, then we practically sat there in silence for half an hour. She said goodbye and didn't look me in the eyes when she closed the door. It might have been natural. It might have been a natural end to the series of visits that were probably pretty painful for both of us. Every time she visited me in the hospital, I wanted to talk to her, but something stopped me every time. Every time I did speak, made the next time even harder. Iwanako always had this aura of fragility around her, as if she shattered into pieces at the slightest disturbance. Initially, I think I might have been delicacy that attracted me to her. But after what happened back then, it felt as if she really had shattered. She looked so sad that I didn't want to say anything that might upset her. I never could figure out the right words to say. I told her that it wasn't her fault. She nodded, and I really think she understood that if she hadn't been that. Then sooner or later, something else would have made my heart give out. Yet, she looked so hopelessly sad every time she opened the door and entered my room, so I never managed to say things I wanted to say at the end. I might have hurt her even more. Carefully, I opened the envelope and drew out the folded letters from within. Dear Sal, how are you? I hope you are doing well and happy at your new school. Everyone here misses you. Almost all of our second year class got put together in class 3-1 for the final year, so we are pretty comfortable right from the beginning of the year. I'm pretty sure you would have been assigned this class as well. The mood along the third year seems to be very anxious about the final exams, even though they are so far away. The teachers are badgering us about it all the time. Even old Mr. Tachibana, who is, by the way, our only teacher this year. Would you believe it? I was sure that he'd retire after his second year, but here he is, nagging everyone about studying for exams. I think things like that are the main reason why the mood among the third years is so nervous. I must admit that I'm somehow losing confidence in myself as well, even though I've always fared reasonably in well exams. It's so weird to think we are already seniors, isn't it? Time has really flown past. I wonder where it went. The new first year seems so young, and somehow really innocent. I keep wondering if I was like them in my first year. I've been feeling nostalgic like this for the whole first trimester. There are other things I wanted to say. I'm writing to you because I felt that there are things I should have said after the incident back in winter. I really regret that I wasn't able to say them in person, and I have no excuse for it. The truth is, the times when I visited you at the hospital made me worried about you. I am not talking about your health. You seemed to become more distant and disheartened. It was natural after something like that had happened. Uh, I'm sure, but somehow I got the feeling that you had given up on something back then. Happiness, maybe. I wanted to somehow express my feelings, but the right words didn't come to me. I couldn't say anything to comfort you. I'm really sorry for not being able to support you when it mattered the most, even though I like you so much. At least now I can finally be honest. If we could go back to those quiet days in February and March, I'd tell you not to give up on yourself. That's what I would say. Maybe you wouldn't have drifted so far away if I just said something. I hope you managed to get back on your feet on your own. Not that the distance between us is also physical. It also feels more final somehow. I wonder if we will ever meet again. Perhaps it's still for the best if we don't. Still, if you would like to correspond with me, by all means, write me back. I'd very much like to hear about your new school and how you're doing. I wish you the best. Sincerely, Iwadako. After finishing reading the letter, I folded it like it was and placed it on my desk. I don't know what to think of this. I feel pretty empty and confused. Why now after all this time? Just yesterday I decided that I can't let myself stay like this. Then try to get on top of my own life. Reading this letter just reminds me of what could have been. Of course, I wish I didn't have to be here. I'd want to be the same class with Iwanako again. Maybe we would talk every day now and go on dates. My life didn't go like that. I didn't really need to be reminded of this. Iwanako needed to write the letter for her own sake. I'm glad for her that she could, but it would be better if I hadn't read it. It would have been better if I hadn't read it. Of course she's right. I thought the same thing yesterday. I had fallen into a pit of depression, and now I have to try to climb out. I ripped out a page from my notebook, and after a moment of thinking how to frame my words, write a short reply to Inako. I find it difficult to be really honest to her. At least I try to appear somewhat convincing. I don't write to her about Yamaku at all. I doubt she'll write me again, but I don't feel at all sad about it. I filled my own letter to her as I found the envelope. It said next to Onako's. I'll mail it to her later. Then I lie back on my bed looking at the monotone gray ceiling. A bird sings outside my window and a sudden gust of wind flutters my curtains. The summer afternoon feels still, as if time had stopped for a brief moment. I think about all the things I've lost and will never regain. I think this will just end it for now. Oh, yeah, this will end it for now. Uh, Sorry it's shorter than the last few parts. Uh, so, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time.